Inconceivable!
Will you please act like you have more than a two-word vocabulary?
Is there air? You don't know!
Hey, don't touch that dial. You found Secular Yakking.
I'm Robert.
And I'm Amy.
After years,
No, many years of yakking at each other.
we're here to yak at you.
So sit back and enjoy the yakking.
Hey, welcome back, Yackers. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. I know I did.
I'm just here.
I'm just here, okay.
I'm already losing it.
So I guess we'll get right on into the show then. So we have an update from the story we covered last week about the Bangladeshi blogger that was hacked to death.
Yes.
They have arrested two Islamists for his murder.
Good.
The suspects, Sal al-Nahain and
Good.
Masad Rana, are members of the banned hardline Islamist group Ansarullah Bangla Team.
Yeah, okay.
Nahad?
That's how that really sounds.
Well, okay, that's the southern version of it.
Sure, okay, we'll call it that.
Nahan was on bail on separate charge of attempted murder over an attack of another blogger, Asaf Mahuddin, in 2013.
So they have a past of this.
Yes.
Which means they will continue in the future.
I am sure they will.
More slightly.
The police chief asked bloggers not to write posts that may hurt religious sentiments.
That's just ridiculous.
So instead of asking the hackers not to kill people,
We're going to ask the victim to, hey, stop talking.
yeah. So that's some serious issues on that one. Yeah,
that is.
According to the Information and Communication Act of 2013, anyone who offends religious belief can be punished for 14 years imprisonment.
Again, we live here in America and, we just find that completely absurd. But in their country, that's the law, which is just insane, but that's what it is,
Right. I mean, they have this serious issue with people offending religious belief. I don't get it.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. I just don't get that because it's words. It's not like they're physically doing anything by speaking words.
Right. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I mean, I honestly, I don't understand it. I really don't.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me.
I mean, to me, I personally see that as, are they that weak in their faith that they can't withstand, hearing words spoken about them?
That's what I think about it. They can't handle the criticism.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're too, I don't know, if they're supposed to be, so strong in their faith, words should not bother them.
I agree. So, I mean, we need to keep an eye on this. The AHA and a couple of other groups are asking U.S. government to make statements regarding this to tell Bangladesh they need to stop this. They haven't. This is the first time they've ever actually done anything with this, if I remember.
Yeah, I'm just glad to hear that they finally caught
two of them, which
Yes.
means it might lead to the others and eventually put a stop to this.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It's at least the start.
Right, because they were all four bloggers that have been killed were on that list of 84.
84?
Yeah, they've got a list of 84 bloggers that they want to silence.
Wow.
So,
yeah, it needs to be stopped.
yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
On a slightly lighter note,
Good.
Florida principal tries to quietly ban book to appease Christians.
You gotta be kidding me.
A Tallahassee, I'm Southern again, Florida principal Alan Birch is in a bit of trouble from the National Coalition Against Censorship after he pulled a book from the reading list after a handful of Christian parents complained that the novel did not show proper reverence to God and Christian faith.
And this is a public school, correct?
Yes, this was a summer reading list.
Okay. Continue.
So, the curious incident of the dog in the nighttime is a story of a 15-year-old British math genius who has autism, Asperger's syndrome.
Yeah, right on that spectrum.
Right. The teenager relays everything that happens around him in the same matter-of-fact way. Almost emotionless tone.
Right.
Including his confusion around adults and their struggle with faith. Which is normal.
I was going to say, that's normal for autism, Asperger's.
Because they don't quite understand that concept.
Their brain doesn't function in that way. It doesn't do the emotion thing like, a regular person who doesn't have it does. But they're having issues because he's not, showing his faith in God, or the fact that he struggles with the faith in God, or in faith period. And
right.
But this is a public school. Do you know how many books out there have things that don't show the holy book in the beautiful light kind of thing?
Well, here's what one of the Christian parents said. I'm not interested in having books banned, said former primary school teacher.
Sure.
She's a former teacher.
Uh-huh.
But to have the language and to take the name of Christ in vain, I don't go for that. As a Christian and as a female, I was offended. Kids don't have to be reading that type of thing, and that's why I was asking for an alternative assignment.
That's absurd. I mean, that's once again, to me, that I just keep thinking that's like when they were going to gloss over, what was it? Huckleberry Finn. Yeah, where they were going to take out the Tom Sawyer books. They were going to take out the N word.
Right.
But to me, once again, you can't take bits and pieces out of things that you don't like. It's part, not in this case, but in the other thing, was part of history.
Well, of
the times.
Right, she's got issues with
just making the whole Christian faith not look as peachy as she wants it to.
Right, but she's more than okay with kids reading the Bible.
Has she not read the Bible? Because
Song
come
of
on,
Solomon, seriously.
There's a lot worse in that book than a child who can't show emotion. I mean,
right? Yeah,
she obviously hasn't read the whole thing through.
Most of them haven't.
No, that is true. Yeah. I mean, come on. Some of those stories, it's like, shield your children's ears and eyes.
Yeah. And Lincoln County School Board member Alva Striplin believes that the curious incident should be replaced by something more innocuous.
Really?
Yeah.
So they're going to appease her.
Yeah, it's been pulled from the list.
God, I mean, do we not learn anything? And it's a public school.
I know.
They don't need to take anything out if she wants to say, well, at least include this or something,
right.
But to take away just because, you think, it makes my religion look bad.
It doesn't even make her religion look bad. It's
I know. That's kind of what I'm thinking. What's the big deal?
And it's someone questioning how people can question faith.
Oh, well, we can't have that now.
He's confused about how this faith thing works.
She's worried that the kids will start questioning, and, children should never question.
Obviously.
Oh, God, I could go on with that.
Yeah, well, we have another story.
Go for it.
Anti-science trolls are starting edit wars on Wikipedia. Now, this is nothing new. Okay? There's always been edit wars, but now there's a study that shows.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, I guess Wikipedia, you say, you can go in and edit it. People can just do it.
Well, not just. You have to be allowed. There's certain rules and stuff.
Right. But
it depends on the article, too. Some you have to have specific permission to do it. Most articles, your general articles on, say, rutabagas, right? Anybody can probably go edit that.
Okay.
But there are certain articles that have...
well, what about something that pertains to science?
And that's the problem, is that some people get on the list and then they can put on what they want.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. I mean, they can legally do this? Because there's some people out here who take Wikipedia by word.
And that's why you should not take Wikipedia by word. But yeah, there's no legal standing against it.
No,
it's just a web page.
Yeah,
you can put anything you want on your webpage.
But it should also have a disclaimer, stating, you're about to go read up this scientific...
I think it does somewhere.
Hopefully people are...
And they don't.
Look. Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. Do they even look? But, you let's say you have a kid who's looking up something for school, and he goes to Wikipedia, and it's been changed, to suit whoever wants to edit it. And
one of the editors hasn't caught it yet.
Right. And so, a lot of people, like you said, don't realize Wikipedia is not complete fact.
Right.
And, it kind of reminds me of like Fox News or something. Fox for News, entertainment purposes only.
Well, they have their own version. It's called Conservapedia.
That doesn't surprise me a bit.
Yeah, and it's pretty bad. Okay, it's really, really bad.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
It's like Fox News wrote down everything they said.
Well, that's pretty much what I was imagining.
plus some.
Exactly.
But the researcher said, following a long-standing research interest and expertise in acid rain, we noticed that some corrections we or others made on acid rain article had been changed by major edits to introduce balderdash and factual errors into the content. They wanted to know if other science topics received the same treatment. Yes.
Yeah.
Their study shows that, yes, scientific topics have huge rewrites.
Yeah.
I mean, they do get a lot of traffic. The higher traffic does play into that.
Right.
Right. But major science like climate change and evolution and things like that have the most edits and the most fixes.
Right. Yeah.
Because you have to go back and fix so much more on those.
Right. Yeah.
Because someone's putting the wrong information in.
I don't think I'm ever going to use Wikipedia just because I don't trust what's written.
Well,
I mean,
I think Wikipedia is fine for general information.
Right.
You wanna,
just your
right. You want to go and get started. That's a good place to start.
But always do more than one location.
Here's the thing about Wikipedia: if you don't have sources at the bottom, it gets rejected.
Oh, okay.
So that's a plus. If there's no source, it's more than likely going to get rejected.
Right.
So what you do with Wikipedia is you read it, you figure out what it says, then you go to the sources and make sure that's what it says.
Right. Never just be satisfied with one website. You always go to multiples, and that way you can verify, okay, this is really what it is. Don't take just one word for advice,
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So, something a little more fun-ish, maybe.
Yeah, it irritates the hell out of me.
More annoying, I think.
Yeah, it irritates me.
No collarbones are allowed.
Yeah, this is crap.
Woodford County High School in Kentucky has taken to shaming teenagers by applying a dress code.
Teenage girls.
Teenage girls. By applying a dress code that seems a bit over the top.
Just a bit.
The dress code forbids the exposure of shoulders, knees, and collarbones.
No.
Man, I go wild for those collarbones. Oh, I don't know.
What the hell? This is so absurd. I have 3 daughters.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
So you can't expose your shoulders at all. So no.
I think my daughters would lose most of their clothes on this one.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
So students claim the dress code is being enforced on the girls more strictly than boys.
Well, there's a big surprise.
Who would have thought of that?
Yeah.
Female students are told that male students cannot handle temptation and distraction of glimpsing a bare shoulder, bare knee, or bare collarbone.
Okay, that statement right there, I think, pisses me off more than anything. So once again, we're going to blame the victim and not the person doing the crime.
Right.
So because they're saying boys can't control their hormones, which teenage boys have the biggest hormones ever.
Right.
They can't control their hormones. The girls are going to be punished for it.
Right.
Instead of sitting the boys down and educating them, and, of course they're going to have hormones and emotions. That's fine. It's normal. They're supposed to. But teach them how to handle it. Stop trying to sugarcoat it and hide it and expect them to know what to do with it.
And as a former teenage boy, doesn't matter if you cover it up or not.
Exactly my point. Hello. It's called imagination.
Exactly.
That tight, pretty, fuzzy sweater. I mean, come on.
One student, Maggie, told the local paper, "I just don't think that our schools need a dress code. I think that it should be eradicated. We're at school to learn. Telling young girls to cover up because it creates a distracting learning environment for boys is entirely the wrong message to send. Our dress code creates an even bigger distraction for girls, especially when they're being called out in front of their peers and removed from important classes."
Now, this was a student who said this?
Yes, this is a student
at
this school.
So the student's more intelligent than the adults running the board.
Right. So on Wednesday, the first day of school, there was a group of female students sitting in the office waiting for their parents to pick them up.
That is such
First
BS.
day of school.
That's
and I
total
saw
BS.
a picture of what this girl was wearing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she had a top. I don't know what the words are to describe it. It was like a shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And just above the knee skirt.
Okay.
And a sweater. One of those.
That's actually considered very
conservative.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, especially the skirt's long enough to be near her knees and not up her ass.
Right.
I mean,
that's something you would see in the business world. What
exactly.
she wore was
what the heck is
business
with that?
Appropriate clothing. I've seen worse than that where I work.
It sounds like somebody that's making this dress code needs to be reprimanded big time.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think they have personal issues of themselves,
absolutely.
Which is why they've got this little rule going on. They need to take a little look in the mirror.
Yeah, I think so. There is, however, a petition started by the students to get the dress code changed.
I hope I hope they get it because this is absurd.
Right. I'll put that link in the show notes.
Yeah,
It should still be running.
I'd like to follow up and see if they get that.
There's also a documentary produced at the end of last year by these very same students about the dress code. So
Interesting.
It's about 30 minutes long. It's worth the watch. And I'll put that in the show notes as well. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think that's good that they're fighting it because this is absolutely absurd. I mean, it's a public school, first of all. And yes, of course, you need, a mild dress code. You don't want kids coming in with, all these liquor quotes and these really nasty words that don't need to be in school. I totally understand that. And, certain outfits don't need to have some cheeks hanging out and, whatnot. But come on. I mean, this is absolutely absurd. I mean,
Collarbones.
Yeah, well, exactly. Knees. Nay. We have knees.
Knees.
How could we think of any? Are they kidding? It's, when it's closer to the summer months, it's hot. And they expect girls to what? Wear pants all the time? I mean, or skirts that are from the 50s down at their ankles?
Yeah, that's what they expect them to wear.
You can't even hardly find those skirts, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
But, I mean, and yet the boys,
they wear whatever.
They're free to go.
Right.
I mean,
they can wear their tank tops and...
Yeah.
I guarantee that no boy has ever been called in for wearing a tank top.
I guarantee no boy has been called in, period, for anything he was wearing.
Probably not.
Because it sounds like whoever's up there making these rules has some serious personal issues. But anyways, we'll follow on that, and I'd like to see how that goes. I hope they get that, because this is an absurd rule.
I am an old man, and most people hate me, but I don't like them either, so that makes it all even.
I still love that.
So it's time for the Potter Award, obviously. And we're finally getting out of Washington and Florida.
It's about time.
And headed to Missouri.
Of course.
Here we're going to meet a freshman Springfield City Council member, Justin Burnett.
Okie dokie.
Elected to council in April 2015, he immediately went to work trying to make Springfield a better place.
Okay.
Like he should.
Right.
Did he propose some amazing resolution to help fight crime or reduce homelessness?
Oh, I'm going to doubt it.
Did he introduce a resolution to approve roads and access public property? No. So what he did to improve the lives of citizens in Seattle, in less than 90 days of taking office, he proposed that the council install a sign on the chambers that reads, "In God We Trust."
Wait, this was his first thing?
Well, he had two. Well, no, I can't say it's his first thing. It's one of his first things.
Right.
Because he is on the zoning committee.
Right.
He has to do zoning.
Right.
Things. But this is
his first
real
big thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. He decided that there wasn't enough God on the walls of this government-owned building, and but he needs it to serve as a reminder that the we in God we trust is him.
Or is he just, catching on the fad that seems to be going around in all the council chambers on putting up "In God We Trust"?
I'm sure that has something to do with it.
Yeah.
But not everything.
Okay.
It may come as no surprise that his resolution was written almost exactly like the one distributed by In God We Trust America Incorporated.
Well, that's what I was just going to say.
Yeah. He said that the motto has nothing whatsoever to do with the establishment of religion.
Really?
And that its use is patriotic and ceremonial in character.
He's got to be kidding. Down inside he's lying to himself.
Yeah. Well, the Supreme Court has said that In God We Trust is something akin to ceremonial deism, which I disagree with.
Hello, wasn't always that.
Yeah.
But whatever, that's another thing.
And you might say that sounds like a statement you might hear from someone brought up in a Christian homeschool. You'd be right.
Yeah.
It appears he was taught using Accelerated Christian Academy curriculum.
Yeah, we used to homeschool our kids for many years, so trying to find secular stuff, I get that. It's all Christian-based.
Accelerated Christian education is one of the most evangelical. They teach creationism. They don't.
Right.
The curriculum actually puts down evolution and scientific teaching. It's horrible.
Yeah.
But luckily, the resolution was tabled and hasn't been brought up since.
Yeah, but whenever they table, it's just to sneak it in later.
Well, no, because they did it 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And he wanted to bring it back up.
Ah, gotcha.
But this is Potter Award.
So there has to be more for your buck.
Oh, yeah. This one's good, too. On August 7th, there was a rally in downtown Springfield to promote the Free the Nipple movement. So I do approve of this Free the Nipple movement. I think that women should be able to bare their breast as much as men.
And being his wife, I don't really care. I'm fine with that because I completely agree. There's no reason why men should go around with their shirts off and women can't, just because, women's breasts are fuller and men's aren't. Although, however, some men's breasts are larger than some women. So, hello. Well, what's the big deal?
That, and there's always those guys that walk around like they're peacocks.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's
I mean, if someone wants to, it's either they all can walk around topless or nobody can walk around topless. The public nudity thing. Yeah. So it's either nobody can take their shirts off or everyone can take their shirts off.
Right.
Because who cares?
So the topless rally featured men and women shirtless in open areas of Springfield. But due to state statutes, women cannot expose their nipples.
That's such crap.
So both men and women covered up their nipples with black tape in protest to the discriminatory law.
I was going to say, just stick a little happy face sticker right there.
That's all you got to do. Just cover it up. Right.
Do you know how stupid that is? You just put a little sticker on the nipple, but yet the whole breast is out there for everyone. What's their problem? Nipple cover? I mean, we can see the boob, but we can't see the nipple. What's the point?
Yeah,
that's just stupid.
You would think Burnett, being a small government champion he is, would be in favor of less regulation of women's nipples. You would be wrong.
Oh, this is funny.
Like most fundamentalist Christian, Burnett sees not just the nipple as being offensive, but the entire breast as off limits.
I feel sad for him.
Comparing the protest to pornography, he stated on his Facebook page, "Do you believe pornographic material should be displayed in front of children and minors?" When asked why he opposed the rally. He considers this a form of pornography.
Yeah, of course he does.
Yeah.
That's all I can say is of course he does.
But talking about it is not nearly enough for him.
Oh, now what?
He wants to use the small government concept to do what it does best.
Okay.
Regulate the female body.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he's planning to introduce an ordinance that would require women to cover the breast from the top of the areola down.
So, like, here.
Yeah, so like there, yeah.
Are you kidding? What's the point? If you got that much, let it all go.
I know.
He's an idiot, sorry, but he is.
Okay.
This is just
Would you
ridiculous.
like to hear his reasoning? It's really,
sure,
really good.
Sure, it'll go with everything else.
His reasoning is in the interest of public safety.
Okay. So, everyone beware of women's breasts. They're coming for you.
Now, he claims that there were known sexual predators at the event.
Oh, okay. Merry Christmas.
So let's see here. He's equating people who want to look at women's breasts as pedophiles.
Well, that's like every man and some women in America who want to look at women's breasts,
but
and yet they're all pedophiles.
That shows a severe misunderstanding of what a pedophile is.
Well, exactly.
Because he was specifically talking about protecting children,
right? Of course,
from sexual predators,
right?
Right. So he equates
anyone who wants to look at a woman's breast as a pedophile.
He equates anything sexually deviant in his mind as a sexual predator.
So, like in our other story, knees and collarbones.
If you have this thing for collarbones, you must be a sexual
Well, I'm surprised
deviant.
he doesn't want all women in like burqas or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think that's what he's pushing
I mean, it sounds like he wants us wrapped in a blanket 24/7.
I think he's got some serious issues.
Well, that's kind of what I'm thinking. It sounds like he's got some personal issues.
Yeah. Well, during Monday night's meeting, this was last Monday, yeah. Burnett said that he was worried sexual predators may have been attracted to the rally, putting children at risk, right?
Okay.
But city manager Greg Burris said police reported no spotting of pedophiles or any real problems with the event at all.
Because most women are there to promote the equality of it.
They're there for a specific purpose.
Right.
Now, there may have been people watching, right?
Who are loving, look at all the free boobs, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it. No pedophiles. The pedophiles aren't going to go.
Well, and if we're talking child pedophile, hello, there's no kids there that are running around topless with them. I mean, that doesn't even make any sense.
This guy's an idiot.
Yeah, it makes no sense whatsoever.
I've actually had interactions with this guy.
Oh, have you?
Oh, yes, I have.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, he blocked me on Twitter.
That doesn't surprise me.
All I did was say that he doesn't care about non-Christian constituents.
Oh, of course.
But,
that's hugely offensive.
Oh, yeah, because I said...
include everyone? What the heck were you thinking?
He had posted something about the Missoula Sheriff Association approving a God We Trust on all their police cars.
Uh-huh.
And I said, well, that's wonderful. for them, right? And basically, we got in a very short back and forth, and it concluded with me saying, I want to represent everyone, because I'm promoting e pluribus unum on this, right?
Right, equality for all.
Equality for all, right? And I said, I want to include everyone, and he said, I said, but you wouldn't know anything about that.
Oh, and that offended him.
That got me blocked.
Well, that just goes to show he knows it's wrong.
Got me blocked from a official page.
Like a government page kind of thing?
So he is a council member.
Right.
On his description, it says Springfield City Council member.
Which he's not allowed to do.
That makes it an official.
Illegal.
Yeah. So then a few days later, I happen to have another account so I can keep tabs on him. Mm-hmm. He put on, this is a personal page.
Oh, now he has this as a personal page.
Yes. Before it wasn't. That I know. I didn't see it. But,
Right.
But this gets really cool here.
Okay, go.
So a local lawyer uses a business sign for social commentary. He does this a lot. Put up this message. Free my nip. Let me try that again. Free my nips from Justin's lips.
Oh, that just is kind of funny in itself. I just had images, but...
Yeah, he does this cool stuff. Burnett responded with this. Instead of giving an intelligent response to the legitimate...
Wow.
What is with my...
You cannot speak today.
No coffee. I had tea. I need my coffee.
Tea is good.
No.
Move on.
Instead of giving an intelligent response to the legitimate concerns that mom, dads, grandparents, and teachers and pastors have to public nudity, Mr. Swear dismissed their concerns with an offensive and juvenile sign.
Of course he did.
That doesn't sound very offensive. Juvenile, yes, I agree.
Yes.
But not. Well, I guess it could be offensive. I don't know. It depends on how you read it.
Yeah.
Well, but what I think is juvenile is Burnett's reaction to seeing women's nipples. He's acting like a 12-year-old boy looking at a National Geographic magazine. Yeah,
like, oh, I'm going to get caught if, anyone finds out that I'm looking at this.
That's my problem. I don't want to disparage anybody, but I imagine his computer's probably full of porn.
But that's just speculation.
That's just speculation. Like most men's computers has probably a lot of porn on it.
I'm not even going to go there. But I find this just completely absurd. I mean, really. It's like right up there with the cover your knees and your elbows and, whatnot. And once again, it's all the woman's fault,
Yeah. And seriously, these people making these rules, you got to move your issues off the road.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Hello. I mean, get over your personal problems.
You're blocking progress.
Yes.
Right? It's ridiculous. Take your religion, keep it to yourself. Don't enforce it on others. Because that's what we're saying.
I know. And they're always saying about, we're not inflicting in your life, blah, 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 stop bothering us or whatever. I'm thinking, hello, every aspect of my life is inflicted by your Christianity. So I don't even want to hear you.
Yeah. We got enough issues to deal with without having to make extra accommodations for a book we don't think is moral.
Yeah, don't even get me started on the whole moral crap. But this is just absurd. And it's just really dumb. And I do completely agree that women have every right to run topless as much as a man does.
I agree.
And if you don't like it, then take it all off the table. But don't do it half-assed and it's all men, no women, or, whatever.
What's interesting is, I believe it was in the 30s when men won the right to go topless.
Oh, uh-huh.
Yeah, it used to be that men had to be covered up as well.
Right, yeah, I kind of knew that.
Old pictures of men's swimsuits, they full coverage.
Right, yeah. They used to go up over the shoulders, the little strappy things.
Yeah, but no more.
No.
Men won that right.
As a matter of fact, just when we were in the store the other day, Mr. Peacock Man himself, he was quite in love with himself. Yeah. But yeah, women should be allowed to go topless. I mean, what's the big deal? And if it was a common practice that women were running topless, it would not be a big issue like everyone has with the kids seeing a topless woman kind of thing.
Right.
It would just be...
It just would be.
No different than anywhere else. I mean, there's other cultures that the women go topless, and nobody thinks twice about it. It's not that big of a deal. It's just a fluffier body part.
Fluffier body part, yes. And that's just the thing. If we quit sexualizing it,
well, exactly.
It doesn't become an issue anymore.
That is completely my point. You don't see us sexualizing our collarbones or our elbows. I mean, come on.
If that were true, Ann Coulter would be a sex goddess.
Help. That's horrible. All right, move on. So that's all the yakking we have for you today. Please join us again next week as we resume the assault on your eardrums. If you can't seem to get enough of us, check us out on Twitter or our Facebook page. You can also leave us a message at 704-802-YAK.
That's 704-802-9255. If you like what you hear, drop by our Patreon page and help support the show. Then head on over to Stitcher or iTunes and leave us that oh-so-coveted 5-star review.
Secular Yakking is sponsored by the Humanists of North Puget Sound.
The views expressed are those of the host and not those of HMPS or its board.
All audio for this episode was used under the Creative Commons license.
And remember, the government of the United States of America is not, in any sense, founded on the Christian religion.